Welcome back, guys. This is the United Way podcast. I'm CJ Davis with One Shot Creations. And today I'm here with Marley Tucker, who welcome, the Director of Development. Marley, Happy New Year to you.
Thanks, CJ. Happy New Year to you, too.
Yeah, I'm excited to have you here today as my co-host. And we also have another guest here.
We do. We have Miss Gemini Fisher.
Hello.
Hey, welcome.
Gemini is with CCB Community Bank, one of our partners here at United Way, and she is also our 23-24 Development Cabinet Chair, which is pretty important if you ask me. We'll talk a little bit more later about what that means and what her role is, but so excited to have you here with us, Gemini.
Thank you.
And Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
So I told Gemini that I was going to tell this story because it's my trademark story when I talk to Gemini or introduce her anywhere in the community. But Gemini actually outlives my time here at United Way. I joined the team in 2020. I had previously worked at another nonprofit, which was a partner agency of United Way. And so we received funding from United Way. And one of the ways that we were involved was by sending one of our staff members to volunteer to participate in, at that time, what was called loan executives, right?
Executives.
Or ambassadors.
Well, you know what? I've been here so long, it's changed a couple names.
One of the two,
So, yes.
one of the two,
Yes.
which we now refer to as the cabinet. And so it's switched names a couple times now. But so I was a volunteer on behalf of United Way, going out and helping with some of the fundraising. And at that time, Gemini was leading the dang thing.
I was a trainer.
She was.
So, yeah.
She was rocking it. So full circle, she's back to rocking it. And this time we switched places and I got to bring her onto the team.
Yes,
So
thank you.
yeah, we love her and we're happy she's here.
Yes, thank you. I'm always glad to be here. You know that.
Yeah, definitely.
That's cool. Like you guys have a little bit of history.
I know.
You know.
I go way back.
What tell us a little bit about like your involvement. You know, I know you Marley touched on it a little bit. Tell us how that kind of got started.
Mine's got started when I was 16. I have been donating to the United Way since I had my first job, working in a grocery store in Omaha, Nebraska. I even found a paycheck that shows a donation for the United Way. I'm going to see if I can find that and bring it to one of our
Please
meetings.
do.
Yeah, please,
But
please.
yeah, I started back. I was a recipient of some of the agencies, so it always has touched my heart. So giving back has always been something I wanted to do. Our Florida president brought it to me one time and asked me if I wanted to do it. I loved it. That's when we did the tours of the agencies, and I loved that. And ever since, I haven't left. So I've been doing it for about 7 years now. And I will keep doing it until they tell me I can't.
Oh, I love Gemini. Doesn't everyone love Gemini?
Yes.
Isn't she so amazing? No, but I want to touch on one thing that you said, right? You started giving when you were 16, which, by the way, of course, thank you so much for your support. It's amazing to think that we have donors and contributors who really genuinely have been contributing for a really good amount of time.
Yeah, we're
right?
not going to tell you my age, but it's been.
I almost made a
been a
joke and I
while.
held back. I held back.
I will tell you, it's been over 30 years. So.
I'm not 30 years old, so that was the joke that I was gonna make, but you made it.
I outlived
so now
you.
it's acceptable.
I do. It's been over 30 years.
It's amazing. It's awesome. We're so appreciative. Really couldn't do the work that we do without people like you who are really like the backbone of the change that we make in our community. But the other thing that you touched on, right? Like 16 years old, maybe giving like $1 a paycheck.
Yep.
And that is the majority of our supporters here at United Way. Our average gift is about $211 a year.
Yeah.
So we really connect with people who've been there, right?
Oh,
People who know what it's like to struggle, people who know what it's like to need help. And they're like, you know what? I'm in a place right now where I can give a couple dollars and I can make sure that someone else doesn't have to struggle. And I just think that's really, really cool that those are the people that are making our work possible. You know, as someone who, just like you, has been in that situation and faced those struggles, I think it's really cool to be in a place where we can now give back and make that difference here in our community.
Well, and I think a lot of people don't realize it matters. you think it's just a couple of dollars, but it matters. And I tell people that when I come out and talk to people, it matters.
Yeah.
So don't feel like you're not giving enough. You're giving anything, that's enough. So I will testify to that. It matters.
Definitely matters. And now all the listeners know why she's in charge of fundraising. How many gifts did we just raise? No.
Come on. I will sweet talk you. Yes.
Definitely.
Love it.
But some of that start of our relationship with Gemini came from the relationship that we have with CCB Community
Yes.
Bank, one of the 200 plus partnerships that we have with local businesses who believe in giving back and making a difference from a corporate standpoint, from an employee standpoint, from a volunteerism standpoint. There's so many different ways that you can partner with United Way as a local business or corporation. And CCB is a very good representation of that, right?
Yes.
You guys jump in and you say yes,
Yes.
and you say it enthusiastically.
Yes.
Yesterday, I asked Gemini to come today
Yes.
because we had a cancellation, and she was like, "What time? I'll be there."
Yes.
And
I got it.
that's
You
a
already know.
perfect example of CCB and the partnership that you guys have. So we're really thankful for not only you, but also, like you said, your Florida Market President, Mr. Alan Wood, who we love very much, and previously served on our board of directors, board chair in 2018, and just really set the tone from a leadership standpoint of what you guys were going to do moving forward, and you've never let back. So
And that's
thank
very
you for
true.
that.
Alan is a huge supporter of the United Way and anything that we can do. Day of Caring. Of course, we all love the women's brunch. That's our favorite. But anything like that, if we can bring it to him, he's always on board. You've seen that.
Yeah.
Last minute donations, last minute volunteers, last minute podcasts, last minute whatever. We will clear our schedule and make sure that we make time for y'all.
Definitely.
So it's important.
We love it. We love it.
That's awesome. What does it mean to you that CC Bank kind of connects to United Way? Because I know, like with Step One, they're really big on connecting with the community. What does that mean to you?
It's nice to know that my job will support it. They may not know how important it is to me until I get in there and let them know. And then giving me the time and saying without a doubt, absolutely, you can do it. That means a lot, because when you've struggled or when you've needed some of these agencies, and if you don't have someone that can understand that, hey, this time that I'm donating is important to me, it can be very stressful, especially if you want to be active, if you want to be seen, if you want to let people know how important it is, and if you don't have the support of your job, then that can be hard. But for me, they make it's a priority. It's something that is talked about in my reviews. It's something that I've brought up. And I don't even have to, I get roped into stuff without even knowing it. I'm on the last thread where Gemini will let you know. And I'm like, oh, yes, Alan, I'll be more than happy to do that. So for them to even think of it immediately, it's not even, they don't even say, do you have time? It's, you will make time. We want you to make time. This is a great opportunity for you. It means a lot to me. It means a lot that they see the potential that I can provide. And then allowing me to work through that is awesome. So I appreciate them 100%.
I love that.
And Marley will tell you, I'm not joking, I will be on the last thread of the email where they're saying, just talk to Gemini and she'll work it out. And I'm like, yep, got you.
And she says yes. Though.
Yes, I do.
She does. She says yes. She makes it happen.
I do. And I do that because I know they will support me no matter what it is. So I appreciate it.
Definitely.
It's awesome.
That's good. That's good to hear too.
Oh, yeah.
You get organizations like that kind of, believe in the mission. So, and
I
I know
do.
that your involvement with the cabinet has been great. Just kind of last minute, just flying in here to the rescue. We really appreciate that. Can you tell us and just kind of speak on like what were your like favorite engagements that you had like last year with the cabinet?
Just coming in and being positive, and you had a few people that had never done it before. Just
Like me.
Yes.
Yeah, CJ is one of them.
I'm a rookie.
And you don't know what you're getting into, but when
Yeah.
you have someone, you're like, it's not what you think. Don't worry about it. You're going to love, if you love talking to people, I will talk to anybody. We will talk. And then if you're good with that, you're going to be good with this. It's not hard to ask people to donate to an organization that you believe in. And that's what I tell people. If you're not familiar or if you're not sure of what you're doing, talk to Marley and let her give you the background so that you can go out and successfully talk about the United Way from a place of sincerity. So we're not just looking for your money. I'll take volunteers, time, if you can help in any way, suggestions, all of that stuff is important because, as Marley has said, we can't move forward without any of that. And the time is just as important.
Absolutely.
Of course, yes, we want your money. We run on money, but we do run on volunteers and time. Yeah. And just like with the cabinet, you see, this is all volunteer based. We're not paid for this. This is all us just coming in and brainstorming. And look what you're bringing. I'm throwing it back to you. Look what you brought. You're one of the 40 under 40. You're doing this, bringing this podcast. This is all things that brings the exposure that the United Way needs so that you can see our faces so you know who you're talking to. And then that way, if they have questions, if they see you out and about, they may not remember Marley's name, but they'll say, hey, I saw you on... And that gives us the opportunity to talk about donations and being a corporate sponsor and things like that. So it's very important. Just with the time that you're doing now, it's important, and you'll see that too when you're the chair.
Oh, she's making it happen. She's manifesting it. We'll see.
Got this.
We'll see. I definitely have learned a lot in my short little run that I had. I will say donating your time, it doesn't take a whole lot. You can get creative as we try to do. And the big thing is, and I've said this before, just kind of give with your heart. Yes. That's resonated with me when I went with Marley to go talk to some of the public staff and just try to let them know about our efforts and stuff. And give with your heart. And my favorite assignment that I had was actually calling the donors and thanking them.
I remember we were here.
That was cool.
And the girl was so shocked. She was like, oh. And you're like, no, I just want to say thank you.
I just want to say thank you.
Yeah. I secretly think that's because CJ has like Gen Z vibes and he doesn't talk on the phone. So when I was like,
I appreciate you thinking I'm that young.
Please call this number. He was like, how do you call?
What do I say?
Full disclosure, I have some call center experience. So.
Who doesn't?
It's okay.
Honestly, who doesn't?
No, I enjoyed that. I mean, there were some people that were picking up and they were just like, "What? Huh? You want what? I don't want anything. I just want to thank you." And they were genuinely like happy that they got that phone call. Like, wow, okay, you guys appreciate me.
It makes them continue their donation.
Yeah,
it lets them know how important they are. Just from you saying thank you, you could have turned someone's day around. They could have been having a bad day. And just to hear that from someone, words of affirmation, is a lot. So that's awesome. I thought that was really cool when I was sitting there when you were calling the people. That was awesome.
Yeah.
So it's funny because in my notes, I wanted to define what the cabinet is, right? Because we're talking about the cabinet right now. And for a lot of people listening, they're probably like, what the heck is this cabinet they're talking about? I don't know what that is. But I feel like you guys just perfectly described it, right? We're bringing in strategic volunteers from strategic partners to give us input and feedback from a stakeholder perspective, because at United Way, we're not our 9 staff. We are all of Okaloosa and Walton counties. We are gathering people together to the best of the best way possible in order to impact as many people as possible in the most quality ways. Yep. We want to improve the quality of life for our neighbors. And we know that we, as 9 people, cannot do that on our own. We do that because of those 200 plus companies. We do that because of those 2,500 plus donors, because of those 60 plus nonprofits, right? We can't do that on our own. And so that's what the cabinet is about, bringing in those strategic volunteers, those stakeholders, looking for their input, seeing what we can do better, because good, bad, ugly, we need the feedback. We need it. And really just taking that feedback and adapting in the best way that we can to improve the ability to, achieve our mission. And that looks like fundraising sometimes. That looks like volunteerism sometimes. That looks like calling people and saying thank you sometimes. And sometimes it looks like calling the CEO and saying, hey, you decided not to do a campaign this year, and we are going to struggle financially because of that. And I would like to ask you to please reconsider that decision, right? And that helps us in ways that you could never even imagine. But it also helps you as a volunteer, right? Especially you think about these up and coming young professionals in the community who sometimes serve on these types of boards, who don't have that networking experience, have never been in front of 60 plus, 150 plus employees asking for money. CJ went to Publix and there's like 6 people in the room. He's terrified.
Well, we're going to have to get you to do the school.
Oh, okay.
Stand in front of the school's meeting.
Let's do it.
And it's a lot. And you asked me, one of my favorites was having a teacher come up to me and tell me that they utilized the 211 and got help for one of their relatives because that was national, and she called and they were able to help. And just having people come back and tell you that they appreciate you coming in and talk to them, and that it has impacted some of them. So those are the ones that really mean a lot to me, is getting feedback from the community and seeing that we are really out there doing the work. The agencies are really out there helping people. So that does help. And those are the stories that you take back when you go and give your presentations. You let people know we're not just standing here asking you for money. We are actually making some improvements in our community. So those are the stories you take with you.
And I love that too. When I'm talking with a potential workplace campaign partnership or local business who wants to invest in their community, I'm talking about the different ways that you can get involved. I'm talking about the corporate contributions. I'm talking about the employee contributions. I'm talking about the volunteerism. I'm talking about in-kind donations. I'm talking about all the many different ways based off of what you do and what your expertise is that you can bring to the table to help us impact more people. And honestly, when I talk about the employee contributions and I talk about the presentations, one of my key things that I like to mention is that not only are we talking about the ways that you can get involved as an individual, but we're also talking about the ways that you can access services.
Yes.
And a lot of people don't know these services exist.
Not at all.
So you go in and you talk about the ways that you can get involved, and maybe you have some people who are going to get involved, and that's amazing. We're super thankful for that. But also maybe you got that one person who was having a bad day and couldn't pay their utility bill this morning.
Exactly.
And they learned about 211, and now they're going to call them.
Yes.
And now they're going to get their utility bill paid.
Yes.
Right. And that might not have been the number one goal of that encounter, but that's also another way to make an impact. And so I always like to share that just because I think that people don't think of that being a byproduct of some of those engagement opportunities. But it's all about the education.
Yes.
We're trying our best to make sure that we're educating people on the resources that are available.
It is. And when you have that interaction, it just makes you want to do more.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm here.
That's it. Yeah. You just lead the charge, Mark. We got you.
You heard that now. I'm just saying.
Heard it here first. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. Well, is there anything else?
No, I mean, I just want to end, I think, just by giving some words of affirmation to Gemini over here, so I can see her blush on camera. No, seriously, thank you so much to CCB Community Bank for your partnership over the years. It truly, truly makes an incredible difference. I'm thankful for you. I'm thankful for Alan. I'm thankful for Clay, who's getting involved. Yes. Carol. I mean, you guys are amazing. We really, really love you, and we're thankful for the work that you're doing and the ways that you're inspiring other companies, other individuals to get involved, and helping us to achieve our mission. So we're thankful for you. We appreciate it so much.
Anytime.
If you're listening and you want to get involved, we'll drop my email in the comments section. Yes. And you can learn more about all the things that we talked about and how your company can get involved in making a difference here with United Way Emerald Coast. But I think that's all I have for today.
That's awesome. Well, thank you again. And thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you on your next episode.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.